Young Stuart Beals Golf Club, and I'm going to talk about 3 driving tips. So driving distance can be quite obscure sometimes, and it can be misconstrued. So basically, driving distance influences the way we strike the golf ball, and well, it opens up a lot of other doors. If we hit the ball far, hit the ball consistently, then we're going to, it's obviously prone to not making as many points as somebody who hits it a lot shorter. So what I'm going to try and get across today is how important it is. Distance comes with accuracy, so if you hit the fairway, get it like first, then you can obviously go on an advanced stage, and that's hitting the ball further. So what I'm going to talk about is, obviously everyone's enamoured with lag. Lag is an absolute everything, so everyone focuses on that perfect lag, the angle they create with a left wrist and with a left arm and club shin. So what I'm going to talk about today is 3 tips in order for you to improve consistency throughout your driving. So the first one I'm going to talk about is hitting at 300 yards is kind of impractical sometimes, because obviously I see a lot of older guys, and a lot of older guys hit the fairway all the time. They don't lose any golf balls. They've probably never lost a golf ball the last 2 or 3 years. But there's other guys who try and absolutely annihilate the golf ball by a sleeve of Pro V1s just before the round and have lost by the second green. So it's important just to understand distance isn't for everybody, it's about accuracy. So if you find accuracy first, then you can obviously change that by altering distance. So distance comes with accuracy. It's important to understand how we make contact with the centre of the club face in order to hit the ball correctly. So what I'm going to talk about is the setup. So a lot of the setup, so what you say to a lot of golfers is the ball position should be play off the left. So the left heel. What tends to happen is, what people will do, get the ball position off left heel, and what they'll do is they'll push their hips forward. So they'll align their hips. So what they'll do is, instead of starting with their ball position here, what they'll do is they'll push their hips forward. So if you notice that angle there, my left shoulders went from quite high to quite low. What that will do is it will move the weight on the left foot. If you move the weight on the left foot, that will create that downward action. It's quite steep. The path's going to go left. You'll get that open club face to the path. The ball will go left, right, and there. So it's important to understand that we don't actually, when we address the golf ball, we don't do anything with our hips or shoulders. It's whatever the head does in relation to the golf ball. So if we do something with our head, that alters the way we set up. So tip number 1, if we can get into a position that's more athletic, so introduce a bit of spine tilt. So what I mean by that is, so if we set up to the golf ball position should be off instead of the left foot. Instead of pushing our hips forward to where we get that low left shoulder, and then that's going to swing our arms more to the left. Obviously we're going to increase our path by out to in, and then you're never going to get that ball going in the air at all. It's just going to be quite steep, more likely to going to make contact at the top of the club face. So what you need to do is create a bit of spine tilt. So this is probably the best tip I've ever learned. So ball position on, so start with your feet together. Then from here all you need to do is move your right foot, so that positions the ball left heel. So let's get a bit of spine tilt. So let's move our spine more this way instead of this way. So put your left hand on top of the club, then put your right hand on your right thigh. So what that'll do is, it's natural. So if my right hand's holding the left, that creates a bit of spine tilt. So that'll create a high left shoulder from here. We'll be able to up in the golf ball and increase dynamic loft at the same time. So the second tip I'm going to talk about is, obviously, people not understanding the standardised sort of hit. So the average question I asked golfers is how far I hit a driver, or 250 yards. The average drive from club golf or golfers over Scotland is 192 yards. You ask a golfer how far they hit the ball, they hit the ball 230. That's their first and honest answer. But what we need to try and focus on is try and have a standard hit. So if we have a standard hit of say 250, that's our standard hit. So if we want to hit the ball further, then we'll hit maybe 10 yards further. If we want to find the fairway, then we'll hit the ball maybe 20 yards short. So it's important to understand how far you hit your driver. So if I say hit my driver 250, and I say I want to hit the ball harder, I pull more on the club head, I try and hit it as hard as I can, and that shot goes 270. Or I grip down the club, and then I feel like I'm on top of the golf ball more. So I'm gripping down it. What this will do is it will shorten my lever system, it will reduce club head speed. So if I come back, grip down the club slightly, and then I'll reduce the length of my swing, the natural radius is reduced, which will create more consistency. I'll feel like my weight's more on top of the golf ball. So if my weight's more on top of the golf ball, I don't have to shift as much weight in order to hit the golf ball. So it's basically like hitting a wedge shot. So my weight's almost stacked up on top of the golf ball instead of stacked up behind the golf ball, where you're going to get a lot of weight shifting, a lot of club heads, and a lot of errors can occur through that process. So I'm not feeling like there's much weight shift. So I'm going to find a shot. So if you're struggling with driving, get down the club. That shortens the lever system. From here, we're not going to be able to turn our shoulders as much because we've obviously reduced the length of the lid. We're not creating as much leverage. And from here, we want to just return that club back to its position. So if we want to pull hard on it, just try and feel like we're swinging a little bit faster. Or from here, where we're trying to put it down the club and find the fairway. So setting us a strike is the most important factor within golf. So if we get that right to start off with, then we can increase distance by obviously swinging a little bit faster or trying to shift more weight on the backswing. So tip 3 is a contradiction. So people tend to hit down on the golf ball. So it's a contradiction between a wedge shot and a driver. So a lot of golfers to start off, they feel like they need to force the ball up in there. So when they force the ball up in there or try and force the ball in there, they'll cast quite early and they'll start hitting down with the driver. So if you just bought a new driver at the shop or somewhere along the lines and you sky it already and you're scared to actually hit the driver. So it's not necessarily that the club's wrong for you, it's you're setting up incorrectly in order to achieve the correct result with the driver. So what we need to do is try and understand we don't hit down on the ball to get the ball to go up with the driver. We have to hit the ball on the club as ascending, so it's almost rising above the ground, and the low point of the. So if you hit down on the golf ball, the club bottoms out 2 inches before the golf ball. But if we hit up on the golf ball, the club bottoms out maybe 3 or 4 inches after the golf ball. So our goal today is trying to get the club to bottom out 3, 4, even 5 inches past the golf ball. That increases obviously the length of the arc, and you'll be able to create more distance. So, for example, a lot of people hit down on the golf ball. What that does is it creates a lot of shafting. A lot of shafting is good if you hit a wedge shot, so you get the hands ahead of the golf ball. But what that does is it pushes the path, it pushes the face out to the right and the path out to the left. Obviously, well, not necessarily, but if I push my hands forward, that pushes the club face slightly open. From here, because I'm hitting down on it, that makes the club exit to the left. We're going to create that out to in swing path. So what we need to try and do is, instead of hitting down on it, what we need to do is when we get to the top of the backswing, we need to chuck all these angles. So feel like, instead of our hands leading at impact, feel like we're chucking those angles away from us. So feel like we're going like that. What that will do is it will get the club head catching up with hands. Instead of our hands going first, then the club head lagging behind our hands. So what we need to do is get top of the backswing. We feel like our hands, so feel like the club catches up with our hands. So our hands and club head are in line, so none of that's where there's a lot of shafting. So as we get to the top of the backswing, chucking those angles down, feel like the club head is catching up with our hands, and that will create club face going more left because I've got hands behind the golf ball. And we'll feel like the toes turning over the heel as well. So from here, get top of the backswing, that'll eliminate any open club faces or any hitting down on the golf ball. So as I said before, lag isn't absolutely everything, so what we need to do is understand we need a bit of spine tilt to hit up on the golf ball, tip 1, get down on it to find the fairway. We don't need to necessarily move a lot of weight to get the ball consistently. It's understanding setting us a strike. And we get top of the backswing, feel like we are not hitting down the golf ball, we're not leading into impact with our hands, we're reduced loft. So feel like we get top of the backswing, chuck all those angles away, and then what that will do is it will change spin axis, so you hit up on the golf ball 1, and your low point will be after the golf ball. So if I leave my hands in impact, the low point's before the golf ball. That's going to create, obviously, reduce the loft. So if I get top batsman, I feel like I'm chucking those angles out, club heads catching up hands, and the club bottoms out after impact. So there's 3 tips to think about, and thank you.